Hey everybody, good morning. Is my sound on okay? Can you hear me? Great, thank you. So just a couple quick announcements before I begin practice today. I am still kind of scheduling catch-up phone calls with everybody. So if I have reached out to you, let's try to find a time to call. And if I haven't yet, I will be shortly. So with that being said, I hope you're all doing well, and we're going to start our practice now. So I think today is supposed to be one of the, hey Connie, supposed to be one of the warmer days that we've had so far. It's going to be pretty hot out. And so I want to right away jump into a practice that's going to help you stay balanced in the midst of the height of the summertime. And you can use a lot of the techniques that you'll learn today in general. And of course, you'll have this recording to watch as well. So some of the hallmarks of heat and things that we might experience, some more than others, depending on the elemental makeup in the body during the summertime, is obviously feeling hot, right? That's one thing. Your skin getting flushed, people more prone to people that have more sensitive skin are prone to sunburn. Your eyes might feel burning. You might have less of an appetite, which is actually normal for summertime. We don't need to eat as much in the summer as we would, say, in the fall or the winter in the colder months. And then on the more emotional plane, it's for everybody, and for especially for certain people, again, who have more fire element in their constitution. On the emotional level, it's very easy in the summertime to fall into like impatience, frustration, irritability. You know, when you're hot, you just get irritated, or like experiencing anger if you haven't eaten. So this practice is going to target all of those things. And we're going to call this a cooling practice. It'll benefit everybody, and especially those who know they have a lot of fire in them. Also, my new microphone comes in tomorrow or Friday. I'm hoping to have it by Saturday. So then the sound's going to be much better on these videos. So for your practice today, have a blanket. It doesn't need to be a yoga blanket. It can be any sort of blanket. And it's no big deal if you don't have it. You can do the practice without the blanket. I'm going to show you how with the blanket. And you're going to start by making the blanket about this size, like a medium rectangle. And you'll place it in the middle of your mat like this. So the bottom edge of the blanket here is, when I lie down on my belly, it's going to land right around my belly button line. Okay? It might feel a little bit invasive, especially if you've never done something like this before, is the belly, the soft part of the belly is quite a vulnerable area in our bodies. It's not really protected by any skeleton. And so anyways, it's okay. You can always remove the blanket if it's too much, and you'll still get a benefit from being on your belly here. And you can have your forehead resting on your arms like this. So I'm going to keep my head lifted so I can talk, but you have your head down. And take your legs comfortably wide. Not super wide, but just enough that there's no pinching or tension in the lower back. And you can just kind of wiggle your hips from left to right. Start to direct your breath, and then hold the hips steady and relaxed. and start to breathe into the belly, into the blanket, through your nose. So we tend to hold heat in the belly region, and when there's too much of it, could increase because of the heat in, the summertime. It can come across physically as a lot of tightness or tension in that area, which is related to all the other things I was talking about earlier. So just massaging and breathing into it and encouraging what I like to call a soft belly, like this soft belly experience. Breathe into your belly. A couple minutes apart. Notice any tension in your jaw. Relax your jaw. The tip of the tongue can be at the root of the mouth. The upper molars can lift a little bit off of the lower molars. And you can take your right arm out in front of you. Bring your left hand by your chest and just roll onto your right side. You can bend your knees up a little bit if you like. And rest your head on your arm. So now that lump on the blanket is in the soft tissue of the waistline. And you can rock a little bit from side to side, roll a little bit side to side, and massage the right waist. If you don't have a blanket, you might consider sticking your hand under the right waist, and then you can get a similar kind of pressure. And if you start to feel a little bit ticklish or like loosey-goosey in that area, that's good. That means you're loosening things up and you're opening yourself back up to joy and ease, which is the opposite of what can happen if we get too much heat in the body. So the belly should feel like holly jolly. And now let's roll over to the other side. Take your time. Left arm goes out, bend your knees up. Gently rock to the waistline there. Again, you can put your hand under the waist if you want a little more pressure. And then roll onto the belly again. And now we're going to move into a Sphinx pose. So you can take your elbows slightly in front of your shoulders. Press your pelvis down. Press your arms down and lift the chest. Now, it doesn't have to be the most perfect, proper Sphinx pose. Not a super rigid alignment, which is very heat building. Just let it feel good. When we start to develop the muscle of consciousness, we can make choices like that in a practice. If you want a little bit more of a back bend, you could walk your elbows back more to make sure you can stay on the support of your blanket. And maybe you can bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Pulling the head down, left ear to the shoulder. Couple times. And return to Sphinx. Crocodile. Then you're going to take your left knee and slide the knee out and around. Reach your right arm out in front of you and your left hand to the side. So we're just adding a progression of what we did a little bit earlier, and now twist. You press your hand into the floor. Your head will have to be lifted here. And you lean back, and then you roll your chest downwards. You inhale, and you roll back. Exhale. One more time. Good. Straighten your left leg. Bend your right knee out and up. Left arm is out in front. Right hand off to the side. Push your chest away. Keep your head a little bit elevated. And exhale, roll it down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Straighten your leg. Return to Sphinx pose. Now you can stay here if you want a little bit more. Press your pelvis gently downwards. Keep your hands down and lift your elbows for seal pose. So this is more of a yin-inspired approach here. You're not really muscling it. You have some support in the core. But otherwise it's a nice passive stretch for the belly. You can breathe into the belly. If it feels good, you can look up. Maybe take a lion's breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling, wrinkle the eyes, stick out your tongue. Good. Then you can bring your hands by your chest, then lift up to your hands and your knees. Now for child's pose, with an optional variation to continue this theme here, to slide your blanket onto the tops of your thighs and hold on to the edges of the blanket and pull it down. And so that way you kind of lift your belly up and over the blanket there as you move into a child's pose. And you can stack your arms under the forehead and take a few breaths here into the belly and into your back. Maybe you can straighten your arms and walk them out to the left. You can lift your head for this. Right hand on top of the left hand. Breathe and expand into the right rib cage. Through the middle and over to the right. So the left hand goes over the top. Lengthen through the left side body. Bring it back to the center. Now shift forward to your hands and your knees. And from the belly, you just put your hand on your belly. That's where we're moving from. And you're going to go to cat-cow. So yeah, the spine is moving, but initiate it from a soft belly. So you just kind of feel almost like the stomach was getting pumped in and out. That's what it's called, stomach pumping. You want you to go a little bit faster. It could also feel nice if you, as I'm demonstrating, circle the hips around. Anything that helps you have some fun and loosen up. And bring that to the center. Now slide your right hand next to your left hand and send your right foot forward. Bend into the right knee. And then bring your hands to your the top front knee. And then maybe lift your arms up. Now don't push your hips down too much. You keep some connection, but also get that nice breath and you move it into the left waist and rib cage. Now make a fist with your left hand. And you're going to twist towards your left, which is opposite from how I teach this usually. So your knees are stacked, your knee and hip is stacked, your right arm is pressing into the inner knee, and you twist open to the left. And you'll feel this enormous amount of space starting to open up across the abdominals all the way down the front of your thigh. Breathe into that. All right, so now come to the center there and bring your hands together. And we're going to try to twist to the other direction. So you can start with the left hand crossing. So the left hand is to the side of the right knee. And then reach your right arm back. And stay here. Or you can do a prayer twist, which is what we'll be working with a lot, those two variations. You cross the upper arm over the right thigh. You get the compression of the belly into your thigh, and you twist your chest open. Now lower your hands down and step your right leg back, returning to child's pose. You don't need the blanket. If it's there, you can use it. Inhale, come forward to your hands and your knees. Holly jolly belly, cat cows. And when you come to the middle, slide your left hand next to the right and your left foot forward. Bend into your left knee. Bring your left hand to the top of the thigh and the right arm lifts up. So your right knee and hip are stacked. Make a fist with your right hand. Bring your left hand inside the left knee to press it wide and twist to the right. Breathe, really tuck your tailbone. Inhale to the center. You can either cross the hand over the thigh and reach the left arm out, or prayer twist. Unwind, hands to the floor. Step your left leg back, child's pose. Full breath in, exhale through your mouth. 2 more times. Exhaling through the mouth once in a while is a really nice way to remove excess heat. Come forward to your hands and your knees. And now you can move into your first downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal through the heels a little bit. Shift forward, lower the knees down, come back towards a kneeling position. Now you can modify, well, I'll show you this pose first. It's a variation of a twist. Your right elbow goes between your knees and you twist open. One of my favorite poses. You could also go further by taking the right arm past the left thigh. Now, if you can't have your knees bent like this, you can modify this with an elbow down twist in hands and knees. into the center, and then twist to the other side. To the center, okay, downward dog. Again, pedal through the heels. Five breaths, longer. So however makes sense for you, step your right foot forward and your back leg, your left knee is lifted. Now plant your left hand down to the floor or block and turn your chest and lift up your right arm. Lower the right hand down, step it back to downward dog. Keep the head very relaxed, relax your jaw. Step your left foot forward to a standard lunge. Keep your right hand planted down, turn to the left. Lower down the left hand, step it back to downward facing dog. Now inhale to plank pose. This is how we're going to modify the traditional vinyasa to make it more appropriate for the summer. You lower the knees down, bring your pelvis down and roll down. So you get that nice stretch for the spine. And then you roll up. And you press it back. Downward dog. Five breaths. Breaths are, in general, in the yoga practice, they err on a longer side. I have a very large breath capacity, so when I'm doing this practice, I usually just try to count, 5 of my breaths. But anyways, my point is you should be, trying to expand your breath capacity throughout a practice. That doesn't mean hold the breath, it just means take longer to inhale and take longer to exhale. Okay, and now for the next, okay. So we're gonna step the right foot forward. Now see if you can lift your arms. If this isn't stable enough for you, you always have the option of dropping the back knee again or dropping the back heel like a warrior one. Then you can either twist like we did earlier, hand to the thigh, or cross your elbow over in a prayer twist. Lower your hands down, step it back, downward dog. And then the left foot steps forward. Up to the midline, root down to rise up. Breathing in. Exhale, twist open like this or prayer twist. And lower the hand down, downward facing dog. Again, modified vinyasa, roll from plank into upward dog, lifting up and rolling it back, take child's pose. Exhale 3 times through the mouth. Let it go. Shifting forward. Again, you can modify the next pose with thread the needle. Otherwise, it's downward dog. Take on a slightly shorter stance. Maybe you can get the heels down. And bring the right hand and hold on to the left ankle and turn under. Keep pushing the left hand into the floor away from you. Lengthen up through that left side as you twist. Right arm forward, left hand. Hold under. Good. Downward dog. 4 breaths more. So walk your hands back little by little so the fingers are in front of the toes. Bend your knees and fold over your legs. Definitely have a good bend in your knees so that you can just drape over with the spine, the neck, and the head around you. Again, feel very kind of loose and jolly. And you can take your lips and make a pigeon sound. Okay, and then clasp your fingers behind your back and lift your arms up. Slowly roll up, 1 vertebra at a time. Just enjoy it. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Bend your elbows out to the sides. Make your elbows go forward and your hands go back like you're going to raise the roof. And lift your chest. And then bring it to the center, hands together. Exhale through your mouth. Now from here, you're going to find a focal point that's below the horizon line. So looking straight ahead or upwards is very engaging for the eyes, whereas just gazing easily downwards is more calming. And it's a gaze, it's not staring or looking hard. It should feel like there's a soft expansion across the eyeballs. And you can shift your weight and pick a balance pose of your choice. So again, the purpose is just to kind of anchor the mind and be relaxed in the gaze. So I'm moving into tree pose. You can do any balance pose that you like. This is the only standing we're going to do today. Heat rises. So staying low to the ground is going to be very balancing for us in the summertime. You can switch sides. Just keep the gaze very soft. Good, lower that down. And then you can come to a wide stance with the toes pointing inwards. and fold forward. Playing around. Some of you might be able to go long enough that you could actually get your head to the floor. Doesn't work so much for me today. Almost. Just do what you can do. Feel a little bit of a shoulder opener. You can reach your arms through your legs. Always have your knees a little bit bent. On the inhale, slide your fingertips under your shoulders, straighten your arms, and lengthen your spine forward. Keep your right palm forward and down. Bring your left hand to your hip. You can stay there, maybe half bind. And twist to the other side. Lower that down. Heel toe the legs towards each other. Turn to face the front of your mat. Bring your hands under your thighs and kind of press your legs and hands into each other to try to fold forward. Maybe halfway up. And then walk your legs back. Lower the knees down. If you'd like, you can move through one more flowy vinyasa. And back to child's pose. Then take your hips off to the right. And take your left leg and cross it over the right, knee to knee. Now, if that's not accessible for you, straighten your right leg forward so you're in a half variation of this pose, which is fine. You can also sit up on a blanket or a block. It would be really helpful in this pose. Do that today. There. Then bring your arms out in front of you. Cross your right arm over the top of your left arm in eagle arms. Modification is just cross your right arm straight and pull it with your left arm. Otherwise, wind it up. Glide your elbows up and down a little bit. Find the sweet spot. And release. Change your legs. It's called cow face pose. The left arm cuts across, bringing the right hand with you, or wind the arms up into eagle arms. Glide the elbows up and down. And release. Unwind your legs. And now swivel around. You're going to take your blanket, or if you have blocks, you can use blocks, and roll it up. Either the long ways like this, so you can lie down over with your spine, If you want a little bit deeper of a back bend, which is what I'm going to be doing, I'm rolling it on a shorter side, and I'm going to place it more sideways. You want it to be just like right towards the bottom of the shoulders, so you can just get this nice openness. You could have your arms in cactus arms. And then you can have your legs crossed or in butterfly pose. Relax your face and make your breath very quiet. No ujjayi sound. Enjoy the expansion all across the front of your body, the softness in your belly, the relaxed, maybe peaceful or joyful or easeful expression on your face, which will reflect your inner state of being. Try to make your exhales a couple beats longer than the inhales. Exhales gradually getting even longer. You can straighten your legs forward when you get tired. Taking your time, you can remove the crop that's underneath of you so you're lying flat on your back. And place your hands over the belly, inviting the belly to be very soft. You can inhale, and it's not that you're pushing, but you just feel an expansion into the basket of your hands. Letting everything get very soft, relaxed, peaceful, and easeful. You're just simply dwelling in the essence of the now. taking your time, you can place your hands over your heart as you invite a sense of open-heartedness, love and kindness, and playfulness into the rest of your day. The possibility of what's to come. You can bend your knees into your chest, rock a little bit from side to side, slowly rolling over and making your way up to seated. With your hands together and a gentle smile that feels right for you. And you can bow your head down in acknowledgement and gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me in practice this morning. Namaste. So please take your time, stay cool, let me know what you thought of class today. This coming Saturday, I am teaching with Stonewall again. So you will have the option to join me live on Facebook, and I will also be sending a different recorded class around 10 o'clock on Saturday for you as well. So just to clarify, we won't be meeting on YouTube live on Saturday, but you'll have two options to practice with me at that point, either live on Facebook or through the recording that I send you. I'll be connecting with all of you some way or another this week. So have a great day. Bye.